Welcome to HackTheFile. I'm Michael Lopez, and today's video is going to be about a resource that I use to keep up to date on cyber security attacks. Enjoy. So, SANS. Um, SANS is a good source for upcoming threats and anything that's going on currently, or what ethical hackers have found, or cybersecurity specialists, and just all kinds of stuff, right? It's good for training. It's good for certifications. I mean, you've got your courses here, and you pay and stuff, right? But this is SANS, so um, it's a good resource and for certifications. I think their certifications are pretty worth getting. I don't know. I've never gotten one of these, but I mean, you can go into like cloud security, server security, IT essentials, and all this stuff, I guess. But here's your training roadmaps. But I mean, other than that, SANS is a good newsletter source. So I am subscribed to this SANS at Risk, and they send me emails about current events and stuff like that, or what's happening in the cybersecurity world, right? And attacks and stuff like that. So you got to go to www.sans.org, okay, and that'll bring you to this website. And like I said, there's a lot of resources here, but you can create an account. So, but I created an account so they can send me emails. So I probably created an account, but I mean, if you go to here to resources and content, you can go to newsletters, and then you've got news bites, at risk, and ouch newsletter. So we're going to be looking at the at risk. So I'm going to click on at risk. Okay. And then here's your SANS at risk. And it's a weekly summary of newly discovered attack vectors, vulnerabilities, and active new exploits. Insightful explanations of how recent attacks worked and other valuable data. So this is really cool. Like if you're getting into cybersecurity and you want to keep up on current events or current attacks, this is one good source. This is the one that I'll check my emails and I'll read the stories, right? So SANS at risk. So home newsletter SANS at risk, right? So you got to go to resources, and it's under content. So let's look at this. So I get these in my email, right? Because I made an account. So let's look at this. So let's look at the first one. This happened, volume 23, number 9, 2023. March the 2nd, right? And this is the consensus security vulnerability alert. Let's read more about that. Click on that. Internet Storm Center Spotlight. So the Internet Storm Center Spotlight. Okay. ISC provides a free analysis and service 1,000 internet users. Okay, we're gonna skip this. But okay, so here's the information. Python info stealer targeting gamers. So this is like a recent thing that's been happening. Published March 1st, and it was last updated March 1st, right? At this time. So this one is by Xavier Martins, version 1. There are a lot of gamers on the internet. They generate a lot of business around games. Many of them can be downloaded for free, but they have online shops to buy options like extra lives, weapons, suits, packages, etc. The downloadable content or DLCs or whatever. And like let's say Fortnite. I'm sure Fortnite is one of their biggest people they're targeting for this, because Fortnite is huge, right? You guys are, or Minecraft. People are buying points and stuff. Therefore, the business of gaming is very lucrative today. And if you don't know about like stuff like this, you know, see how it has the one right here. When you go down to the bottom of the thing, you know, your first reference is going to be right here. That's what he's referencing, right? Um, so this one should be 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, where is it at? Anyways, I don't know. Anyways, okay, so I spotted a malicious Python script that acts as an info stealer, focusing on games. Based on strings found in the code, the attribution goes to Russia, can be translated to a new connection has been established. So, based on strings found in the code. So, the strings found in the code um, lets him to believe that it's going to Russia, right? It's always going to Russia. Always. So, this is not necessarily going to be true, right? I mean, it's pointing at Russia. I mean, you know, but you never know where it's going because they're always going to Russia. Maybe it is. Today, most Python malicious scripts use Discord as a C2, but this one uses Telegram. Read the full entry at HTTP. Let's read this full entry, right? But I mean, there's more stuff going on here. But this one's interesting, so I want to go to that one and want to read the full entry on that. Today, most okay. So bot, and now here's the code that this guy found in the game, right? The game code based on strings found in the code. So what code is he looking at, right? I guess we're gonna read. So bot equals telebot base 64 code. This equals dot decode. So it's decoding and parse mode none. Okay. The script implements the classic code to steal cookies. So this is a cookie stealing code from the Chrome installation. So this is probably online, right? Like a PC game or something. But it also searches for resources used by gamers. First, Chrome data is inspected, and only interesting domains are searched. So target domain, Minecraft. Yeah, so he's targeting Minecraft, Google.com, Live.com. Oh yeah, Live.com. That's Microsoft, right? Twitter.com, Spotify, Discord, blockchain. He's doing PayPal, Steam Community Online or whatever, Origin.com, EA Sports, Ubisoft. I mean, he's doing all the main games. So once he hits those, once this finds any of these bad boys, then the script searches for the precedence of Minecraft because it was the first one. If os.path apps Minecraft, so in other words, it's saying if it's Minecraft, accounts path equals apps Minecraft plus launcher accounts Microsoft Store with JSON with open accounts path. So it's opening. Try for account in file accounts, username, file accounts, account username. So it's trying your account user. Okay. Steam 2 is well known for a platform for downloading games. The script tries to infiltrate useful information from Steam setup. Try. So this is all probably legit until you get to the little bit of code. Or is this the whole code? They also search for online manager instances. Apps outline. So this is all the code. Nothing brand new with the sample except it targets gamers. Money is involved with games, sometimes a lot, so they are nice targets for attackers. Stay safe. So this gives you a little example of what's happening right now. Good info. Saw this on Call of Duty from Russia. Had factory set my gaming machine, started acting funky, called me. So let me see what the discussion with it. Oh, okay, so we're not gonna do that. Python info stealer targeting gamers. So I'm assuming that when you, okay, so what it doesn't tell you is how this is all put on there, right? Um, so it says I spotted a malicious Python script. Okay, where did he find that Python script, right? Okay, Discord as a C2 and uses Telegram. So this is off your browser or something because it's stealing cookies, right? Oh, from a Chrome installation. So when you install Chrome, so how does this? I'm assuming that you installed Chrome from a malicious website or something, and when you run Chrome, they got you, and they're looking for anything gaming. Hmm. So, I mean, you could do more research on this. You could join their discussion community and find out how exactly they're doing this, because this is kind of, I mean, if you're not like really knowledgeable on this, right off the back, it's not going to really tell you much. It's just telling you of it. But, it's stealing your cookies and credentials from a Chrome installation. So you must have installed that Chrome from somewhere uh, not good or something. I don't know. But, anyways, that's a cool little story. Then we'll go back, and I think there's get out of this one and go to the next one. So there's just all kinds of information here, and then you go to the next one here, and this one is okay. So this is an HTML phishing attachment with browser in browser technique. So this is very interesting right here, right? Although the browser in browser BITB technique has been with us for a while now, it is far from what one might call ubiquitous. Simply put, the technique is based on displaying a simulated browser pop-up window, usually a login prompt, within the confines of the HTML page open in the browser. The simulated pop-up may look like indistinguishable from real browser window, and since it may contain an arbitrary URL in the simulated address bar, the use of the BITB technique for phishing can be quite effective, as most people have been repeatedly taught that they should check the URL. Yep, and if it is the right one, the page should be genuine. During security awareness courses. So yeah, so this is awesome. Checking the URL is undoubtedly still good advice. However, when it comes to BITB, one should probably preface it by saying, not one first has to make sure that by saying that one first has to make sure the browser window is actually a real browser window, and that the address bar is actually a real address bar. So I always say check your your address bar, right? And check your certificates and stuff like that. But if you're in a fake one, of course it's gonna look real, right? And we're gonna read the full entry on this one because this one's very interesting, and then I'll end the video because I don't want to make this video too long. 15-20 minutes. HTML phishing attachment, browser and browser technique. This is very, very interesting, this post right here. And this is stuff that you got to look out for when you're, doing anything that's asking you to sign in with Google, right? I mean, or anything, right? So, we've already read this much, so okay. Although the browser and browser, okay, we already read this. The simulated pop-up may look almost distinguishable. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, checking the URL is undoubtedly a good. Blah 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 blah. Okay, one should probably blah 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 blah. God. Okay. First, to make sure that the browser window is actually a real browser window and that its address bar is actually a real address bar, unlike in the example shown in the following image. So apparently this is not real. Let's click on that. Why? HTTPS accounts.google.com sign in /v2, huh? Google sign in, use your Google account. Man, you know how many of those I clicked on? Terrible. We don't even know if they're right. Even though the BITB technique has been using the threat actors in the wild in targeting attacks, 2-3, it has so far become the default go-to for authors and phishing websites. Which is why I was a little surprised to find a generic phishing email with an HTML attachment using this technique in my spam trap last week. The email itself had an empty body, and besides the fact that it originated from from a SendGrid server, which seems to be used by the legitimate owner of the domain, and thus passed both SPF and DKIM checks, was completely uninteresting. So this is the email he got. Right, he was doing a phishing email attack, and at first glance, the attachment looked just uninteresting and run of the mill as the email itself. So this, when he opened it up or whatever, you know, this is what he got. Just wants him to sign into his, probably any one of these. However, on a closer look, it proved to use the BITB technique to display fake pop-up login prompts if one of 5 or 6 login options were selected. The display pop-ups looked somewhat convincing and behaved to a limited extent. It was possible to move them around the screen, but not resize or minimize or maximize them in any way, similarly how real pop-ups would. So you can move these around, you just couldn't move the sizes, right? So he got this one, he got this one. These are pop-ups, and they're trying to steal his credentials is what they're doing. So if he signs into Yahoo or Google, especially this one's terrible because it's connected to your account. That's why always use multi-factors. That'll help, right? The code but use multi-factor in your phone. I would think would be safer than your email, because if you're entering this email and your password, he's got your email now, right? If you got a Gmail. Okay. The code behind the HTML attachment turned out to be notable in 2 ways. First, it wasn't obfuscated, which is quite unusual these days for HTML phishing attachments. And second, the sections of code used to display and control the pop-ups weren't the same for all windows, and in a strange turn of events, didn't contain the same functionality. As a result, only the login pop-up for the 365 Outlook, which, as many as you may see, tried to load images from external site that were no longer available at the time of writing, performed any animation when one hovered a mouse cover over the minimize, maximize, and close button on the top bar. All other simulated pop-up windows were completely unresponsive to touch interaction. As we already mentioned, the use of BITB in phishing is currently not yet as common as some other techniques. Although this is quite fortunate, one can reasonably expect the situation to change. There's no reason why threat actors would use this technique more, given its potential effectiveness. Or rather, the example described above shows the situation is slowly changing. Therefore, one recommendation that can be made to any security professional out there: who are responsible for building security awareness with the organization would be to include mention of the browser and browser technique in any education awareness materials that the organization might be used for employees and user training. Although, along with some pointers on how to spot the use of BITB, the most straightforward method by identifying BITB windows would probably be to try to move the pop-up outside the parent browser window, but the lack of an icon for the pop-up window on the taskbar possible issues with interactivity of the pop-up window might be good points to mention as well. Um, this is a great article. Okay, so basically, if you didn't catch all that, um, it's generating these, in layman's terms, is generating these pop-up windows, right? That look just like your Google sign in, right? And nowadays everything is asking you, do you want to use Google sign in? Do you want to use Google sign in? We'll never do that. So if you're surfing online, okay, and let's say you're on a website that you're that's not, you don't know what you mean. Let's say you're looking at boogie boards, okay, online or something, and you go into, you want to buy something, and something pops up and says, do you want to use your Google sign in for this? And you think that's convenient, but it's not. Don't do it. Okay, that would be my advice. Do not do anything online where you need to, you think it's convenient to use your Google sign in. You don't know if that's real or not. I mean, theoretically, it could. I mean, you could pop up. You can enter in your credentials, and it'll say, "All right, you're clear," and then not have anything linked to it. Right, your credit card, none of that stuff is linked to it. Or and then just steal your login credentials. Say, hey, there was an accident, or error 403 or something. You know how many times I've done that, man. Trying to, just to test it. I wasn't entering the real credentials, but you'll enter in a credential, and then it'll pretend like it's trying to log you in. It'll say error 43, or error 403 or something. I mean, that's because they were trying to steal your credentials. That's it. Of course, they don't have your information or your credit card that's linked to that Google account. So you got to be careful. Um, it, um, I would say never use this. Do you want to use your Google account unless you know that website is reputable somehow, right? You're getting on the. I mean, this is very dangerous, and I can give you a story about this. It's just ridiculous. Okay, and I don't want to say it on here because I'll give people some ideas, but a way that people, you can just set up a fake account or just a new account and then attach credit cards to it, right? Stolen credit cards and all that, and they do not verify. Google does not verify. They just barely started doing multi-factor on it, so which helps a little bit, but so I mean, it's not a good idea. Okay, I use it sometimes on places that I know that's reputable. Also, if you're on somewhere and it says, hey, you want to log into your Microsoft 360 account, watch out when you're doing that online. Even if you check I wouldn't do anything like that online. What I would do is just go to your Windows account on your desktop and log into your 360 account, like that, right? If you need to log in or something, don't ever click on stuff in your email attachments that and then they send you to anything like this. I would never do that. What use not common sense, but common sense, yes. But that's what they're trying to. When attackers are trying to hack you, they're attacking your common sense. Okay, that's the bottom line. They're not attacking your intellect, right? They're attacking your common sense. So I mean, you can't even use common sense. Common sense is probably wrong too. So, so I mean, so what I would start thinking is why am I having to log into why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? And they're asking me for my credentials, or if I want to, use convenience and sign into my Google account and pay with that. I mean, it is convenient, and there are Google related websites, or um, you know Google related, like Amazon, if you want to use your Google account, right? Is one of them I trust. If I'm in Amazon shopping and it asks me if I want to play with it, then yeah, you know, Google Play is one maybe, but you got to be careful with that one too, right? So it's convenient, but it's not convenient for you in the long run. So I mean, I would stop using them altogether, or because this one's saying that you don't even know if it's you know basically you can say, hey, check the URL, make sure it's green, your little path, your little lock up here on the left, it's green. Check your connection is secure, check your certificate. But what it's saying is that you can even do that, but it might not even be a real browser that you're opening up from your email, right? So um, that's what this is, and then that's really 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 hard, right? So, you know, rule of thumb is don't click on no links in your email. First of all, um, I wouldn't even go to links and pay anything from your email, right? You can, check a link, copy and paste the link in your web browser, right? So if I'm in my email, I'll copy and paste. If I, like Watch Gang or something like that, right? And I'm like, okay, I get this all the time. I'll copy and paste that into my URL and then go to it, right, or whatever. If I trust it long enough, maybe I'll just click on it, right? I guess, I don't know, but don't ever enter in information on there, right? Um, uh, use burner cards. So if so, here's an example. So like not even burner cards, but like that Watch Gang. I joined online. I checked the URL, everything, and it was legit. Um, I was getting my Watch Gang watches. Everything was legit. But when I purchased and put it online, whatever, PayPal, or not even PayPal. I mean, I just put in my credit card on there. I made sure it was secure and all that, but I used a card that I only have like $500 in there at any time. I have multiple accounts, so it wasn't linked to my main account, right, where I've got a lot of my money. I use an account where I have just for subscriptions. So that way, if they steal that, if somebody steals that credentials, or they use it, and it's great for getting my money back and reporting cybercrime. So I monitor that one, and I use that one just for stuff that I purchase online. That's a good way to protect yourself, because now, like it's saying, all this stuff, you don't know what's safe or not no more. It's just ridiculous. So get a burner account. Put $200 in there if you're doing monthly subscriptions, or if you're doing, or $500 if you can afford it, or $1,000. Just don't put the majority of your money in there. And make sure that card, you're able to call people up, and get that back refunded to you. Like a credit union or something like that. Don't put it on a card that it's hard to get your money back, that you need to go get this and prove that they stole it, and print out this and that, and then because they don't want to give it back to you. Get one like a credit union, where they don't even care. They just say okay, and they report it, and then you get your money back. And once they do some kind of investigation that it was fraudulent, you get your money back right away. So that's a good a good strategy that I actually use, right? Because you're gonna purchase stuff online. Okay, you're gonna pay bills online. You're gonna purchase stuff online, and for the little things on the websites that you're not sure about, I would use like a burner card, right? Or like a bank that doesn't have a lot of money in it. So those are my tips and advice. But yeah, this is a great source right here. And then, not going too much into this, I could think of other ways to help prevent this. But even at the end, he says he can't even, right? You got to just be careful. And so this is a crazy attack that does not follow the conventional, because it's incorporating this Google sign-in, and now this or whatever, and this is linked to everything nowadays, so people trust it. All right, so that was it. That was SANS at Risk. Go check it out. It's one of my favorite places, and I can go down a damn rabbit hole for a minute, right? I can just read this, just lose my mind about everything. But it's so fun, and it's got so much other stuff in it. So check it out, sans.org, and then go to your resources, and then go to your content, and then go to newsletters and at risk or whatever. All right, that was Hack the File. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.